make sure you hit that like button. If you ain't subbed up, sub up. You feel me? Like it's crazy, right? Because I never, back in the days of me starting my YouTube journey and basing it around psychedelics, I never really, I didn't see myself getting into making these videos that I've been making lately. But it's like, golly, you begin to start learning things and seeing a lot. You feel me? And dang, I'm starting to like it. And because even going to this and me looking at this, the white South Africans that that Trump brought over here and said he was going to do all these things for, and yeah, this story just got me. It got me kind of tripping out. So I got to bring it to the forefront and show it, and I thank the ones that on TikTok that dropped a lot of these videos that I just been kind of going through, and I don't like to watch these videos and then and not at least be doing a live while I'm watching them. But we're gonna get into this, and this is crazy, bro. That's all I can say. This is crazy. It's not crazy though. It makes sense. It make too much sense, and everything's starting to make too much sense. That's the problem. That's the problem with doing these videos, foundational Black Americans and all the stuff is just, it makes too much sense. And and I think instead of understanding things, a lot of things like people, we like just want to like go against it. You feel me? Because like I said in the beginning, we were taught to go against what we don't understand, or or we like, it's like we programmed to do that. But let's just go on and get into the video. You got to see this. This is wild. It's crazy because his mom, you know, it seems like she understands a lot more than what he do, and he going like, it don't matter. You feel me? Yeah, we lived off the shit that we did, and we got paid off of it, but we still don't deserve it because we didn't do it. But it's okay to live off those struggles and to bro, come. This should be crazy.
The arrow.
The administration is prioritizing white South Africans for admission, a group it says faces persecution at home, something the South African government disputes. Well, now an investigation from the Free Press shows many of those white South Africans, also known as Afrikaners, are barely scraping by because of what they say are failures in U.S. government systems.
Yes, I spoke to 10 South African refugees, and the government contracts with 7 refugee resettlement agencies that are paid hundreds of millions of dollars per year to provide safe, sanitary, and affordable housing. And unfortunately, what I heard from these Afrikaner refugees is that they're spending weeks in motels in unsafe areas. They're being offered housing that is full of mold, apartments that are full of mold in expensive areas. So each refugee is allotted $2,000, and all of that has been going to rent. So they're really left with nothing. And these agencies are supposed to help them apply to jobs, obtain temporary benefits such as SNAP and Medicaid. They don't have transportation. They don't have the right clothing. I talked to 3 refugees who are in Detroit. It's very cold there. They do not have coats. They have regional offices all throughout the United States where the money from the federal government trickles down. Some of them, one refugee resettlement agency, their federal expenditures top $727 million. Why are these refugees being told there's no budget for food, or there's no other apartments or places to show them that are in safe and sanitary areas?
Why are you worried about taking care of them when you got Americans that's going through that, and y'all don't say nothing about that? But it's a big thing about these refugees, probably because they're white, coming from another country. I think that has to be it. That could be the only reason why. Because I see this lady sleep at the bus stop, and it was like pouring rain in one day. She never got on shoes. She's white. She never has on shoes. She only got a blanket for the last 8 months. Well, dang, it's been longer than that since the beginning of last year, since March. I've been seeing her, and she got on the same clothes that she had on then, with that same blanket. And it was raining, like pouring raining, bro. She was up under the ledge of the store, just standing there, like and people was walking up, like, do you need anything? And she like, no, 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 and she stood there. Though 3 days raining, and I'm just going, it's cold as hell. How is she even surviving out here like that? But it's people like that here that's doing worse, and they're not helping. So I'm like going, why is it a big deal for these people?
Breaking news. This is for the Americans. If you're not an American, feel free to watch, but please try and get it to the Americans. My name is Bianca van Wyk, born in South Africa, live in South Africa. Today you will be welcoming the so-called white Afrikaans refugees. They are there based on an offer made to them, which I must say was informed by disinformation about South Africa. Now, I've seen a lot of takes on who Americans think they are receiving. Okay, you are not getting successful, professional, white, middle class South Africans that are fleeing South Africa. The people you are getting are the people that believe that there is discrimination against them based on their race. Keep in mind, we live in the most unequal country in the world. We have, for instance, 70% of agricultural land and agricultural holdings are owned by white South Africans. 62 to 68% of top leadership positions in corporate are filled by white males. There is a huge salary disparity between white South Africans and the rest of the population. And there are a number of other indicators which shows you that this story of discrimination based on race is false. Another thing that I wanted to say is that you will get certain so-called refugees that have experienced crime. However, in South Africa, no one is exempt. These people that you are welcoming assume because they're white, they should not experience crime. The people most affected by crime in South Africa happen to be Black people that live in poverty. So as you open your doors and welcome people, and you're going to get a lot of information and disinformation from these people, please do keep that in mind.
Man.
Oh, I also would like to say all the best and good luck to the Americans.
Man.
So we have a white woman who attended a Black History event, and during that event, she was placed in shackles that were the actual shackles that were used on slaves.
This morning.
And just check out the way that she reacted.
Welcome to America. Tell me what you're thinking.
Just so much.
Kleenexes, please.
I've always been interested in history and the history of Black people. I took Afrocentric classes at U of L. My grandma lived at 2821 West Kentucky Street.
Yeah, good looking.
I've read so many books, and now I belong to a church that's primarily African American, and I wouldn't be anywhere else.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And them shackles was heavy as hell.
Well,
she said,
welcome to the world of
instant tears.
Our people, our ancestors.
Yeah.
And you just
What's
got
up with
like
it,
a few seconds of a taste of those heavy shackles that they were in all day, every day. And aside from just wearing shackles, they were lynched, they were beaten, they were essayed, their teeth were stolen from them, their skin, their hair, you name it. They were dehumanized. They were treated with the most horrible, horrific atrocities. Their babies were taken and fed to alligators. Their babies were stolen and sold. They were
Man.
sold. I could go on and on. And back to what I said earlier, which is she experienced just a few seconds of the heaviness, literally and figuratively, of what Black people went through. And although we as Black people, current day, are not placed in shackles per se, we are placed in shackles in other ways, in the way we're discriminated, in the way we're racially profiled, in the way that we are assaulted physically, verbally, in the way that we are shouted at and told to go back to where we came from, in the way that, our youth are being treated by police officers. I can go on and on. It's still shackles. It's just a modern day version of it. So you hear that this white woman is also saying that while in tears, she's saying that she attends an all Black church and she's been reading a lot about, the history of Black people and, studying
What's up
up.
with it?
And that's great. This is one thing that I always say is that the folks need to educate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you do with all that education. And I appreciate the fact that she came to experience and learn, and that she, tries to be in the environment of Black people. I appreciate that. I'll give her some props for it. It's just, what else are you doing with all of this knowledge? Are you also teaching your kids, your children's children? I don't know, your neighborhood neighbors, your the people around you that look like you, your friends, your family members. Are you also
And it's wild, right? Because man, they taught this shit in school. So like they taught this shit in school. Y'all just didn't give a fuck. You feel me? Y'all never did. Like, let's just be real about it. They've been teaching this shit for a long time, bro. They showed it in movies. And a lot of people, most like in a lot of good movies that people watch, you feel me, and they knew it was happening. But it's like kind of weird because when you living off of when you don't have to worry about it, and you living off the struggles of that thing, why would you trip? It's like like that Roman holiday type shit, you feel me, living off the struggles of everybody else type shit.
My last message addressed to the people of South Africa. I, without qualification, self of the total unacceptability of apartheid. It motivated us in the National Party to take the initiatives we took. From the time that I became leader of the National Party, and more specifically during my presidency. The road forward is a difficult one. But I firmly believe that if we take hands, and if all the reasonable people in South Africa put their heads together, we can overcome the challenges we face.
Hey, as old as you is, like, it's wild, right? Because you get to your deathbed, you would be apologizing. Look, I know that, we messed up. I'm almost out of here. I got to protect my children, my great grandchildren, and all that. And I don't want you to do them bad because, what we did was wrong. That's wild how people do that. That's what I was talking about the other day. I said people will say shit and do shit to you, and then when you flash or you do something, they expect you to not be like that. Why are you acting like that? What you wasn't tripping when you was doing that shit. You feel me? You wasn't tripping then. So now you want me to be soft about it? Like, man, the people be tripping me out. Okay, look, this is what I was saying though, right here though.
Now I'm loading up the arrow. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero. Turn me to a superhero. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero. Endless chain, I'ma take that to the grave.
To the grave.
Tent was hidden, now it's creeping out the cave. Out the cave. Found my target, now I'm loading up the arrow. Up the arrow. Blue and white, turn me to a superhero.
That's how all this shit did. I'm gonna keep saying it again, bro. Everything that we went through as black people, bro, the shit just turned us into some superheroes. We was already that, but it just a lot of shit just made us so powerful and strong. It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't stress that enough. Can't stress it enough.
Shit. You know those 59 white Afrikaners that Donald Trump brought to the United States as refugees? Well, these Africans were farmers. Farmers that had been targeted by the African people because of the color of their skin. And you know, it's funny because these Democrats that have been preaching against Donald Trump deporting people are literally raising hell because he brought those people in to resettle them. And it's strictly because of the color of their skin. And some of the people in this country are literally joining the bandwagon and raising threats and letting these people know that they're not going to be safe in the United States either because of the color of their skin. Are white people that terrible?
Yes, your own question, bro.
So, can you remember the white South African refugees that came to the country, and they're very controversial at the time, and they seem to have drifted into the American population, and we don't hear anything from them. And I've been trying to find information in regards to what happened to them over the last month or so, and details, obviously, because I guess it's private information, has been quite subtle. However, I have come across some information I wanted to share with you. It does appear that some of them have indeed started work on U.S. farms. It would seem that not at any particular level, maybe mainly just picking fruit and that kind of thing. Some of them are now working for Walmart. At least 3 of them are now greeters at Walmart. One of them became a snake milk. Another one became a professional bridesmaid, and another one became a dog surfing instructor. The source for this is BBN. I just thought it'd be nice to do a follow-up story on something that was quite controversial a couple of months ago. And let me know what you think about this.
The snake milker.
What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, I want to talk about a serious topic when it comes to immigration. I'm actually at the immigration office right now, taking care of my, passport stuff situation. But I don't have a situation. It's things you got to do if you stay for an extended period of time. But I've been watching the news where the South Africans, right? South Africans are inviting lots of people into their country, and they have incentives like teleworking and all that stuff. And it seems like they're trying to coerce, which I know, they're trying to coerce white Europeans and white Americans to come to the country. South Africa seems to be the last bastion, last haven for white people to get a foothold in Africa because they still hold on to Africa. They own Africa. And they also have all white villages where the South Africans, the real South Africans, the indigenous black people of Africa are not allowed to go to, which is absolutely embarrassing and ridiculous on any level in a modern day, a so-called modern country. of South Africa, where there's places where white people can exclude all black people from the country while inviting white Europeans, white British people, and probably white Australians to come there, live, work, and play, right? And spend all their US and UK dollars in South Africa. And they probably overall want to cut off Johannesburg and make it an all-white state, all-white country, and then disenfranchise the local population of South Africa, which they're currently trying to do right now, while the indigenous South Africans are hating on the actual Africans who they shouldn't hate on while inviting white people. It's amazing, right? Because they feel like the other Africans are taking their jobs. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like white Americans in America who believe that Mexicans and El Salvadorians are coming to take their jobs? Isn't it amazing how poor white people, right, who are being disenfranchised by multi-billion-dollar international corporations, right, are blaming the immigrants from South America and Asia coming into their communities, right, getting all these jobs? And somehow these people believe that they're not only getting all the jobs, but they're also taking up all the welfare benefits. Are they doing both? How are they doing both? They have your jobs and they're taking up all your welfare benefits at the same time. They're just doing a lot, right?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, what's the first thing came to mind? Is with Dave Chappelle when he played the racist black guy, and he said, with their big noses breathing up all the white man's air. What the fuck, man? The way these people be thinking sometimes just be hilarious.
So the poor white people get mad at the Mexicans and the Salvadorians because they just so happen to be bussed in by those same multinational corporations that don't give two shits about those poor white people, which they never did. Just like in slavery, right? They rather go and risk their young troops' lives to go over there and grab some Africans to make them slaves than employ their white Europeans who they brought over there. That's why white people were poor back then, because they couldn't get jobs because the black person would do it for free, right? And it also sounds like these stupid, dumb, ignorant African Americans who are somehow being coerced to hate other black people because they believe that they're coming in and taking their jobs, right? Now, I want you to peep this. None of these...
It's crazy that he even say that, right? Because, we already know, like, we just seen older black folks and white people that said that was the thing. You feel me? Like, we heard Muhammad Ali say him going to a restaurant, and the white people wouldn't let him in because he was Negro, but then they let the Africans in. You feel me? They like, oh yeah, no, you can let them in, but him right there, he's a Negro. Don't let him in. You feel me? Like, come on now.
Immigrants, whether they're Venezuelan, Mexican, whether they're Southern Africans and Nigerians who go into South Africa, none of them are taking jobs that any of these people want to do, right? Because the corporations don't want to pay the indigenous population of any land because they probably expect to get a decent wage, right? Like a white American would probably expect to get a wage where they can live off, right? Something that they can actually pay their bills. Huh? Okay. Yeah, I got called in by immigration. They had my paperwork and all my stuff done. So, yeah. So, they probably expect the local population, like the poor white Americans, to want a decent wage. Do you think corporations want to pay you $15, $20, $25 an hour? No. It's cheaper to import some immigrants who are going to do it for $7, right? That's the corporate game. Corporations are in business of making money. That's the same. So none of y'all are sweeping floors. None of y'all are picking fruit. Those are the jobs that immigrants are being brought to do. So that when you go to Kroger's, when you go to Whole Foods, you ain't got to spend $1,000 on a freaking carton of goddamn strawberries, right? You be complaining about that. So that's why they do that, right? That's why they do that. And that's the same thing in South Africa. That's the same thing in Europe, because the Europeans are complaining about the same thing, right? All these immigrants coming here taking our jobs. No, they're not taking your jobs, because none of y'all want to do those jobs.
You don't want.
None of y'all want to do those jobs. None of y'all don't want to do any of those jobs. And you're not going to do those jobs because they don't pay you enough to make you work and do those type of jobs. And you're just not going to do it. And see, that's the issue. That's the same thing in South Africa, same thing in America, same thing in the UK. And all you guys get mad and hate on people that look like you because rich corporations who are in the business of making money would much rather pay somebody else from another country who will take much less for the
You
jobs
gotta
that
write,
you don't
but
want to
it's
do,
more than that,
right?
bro.
And for the
Way
jobs
more
that
than
you
that.
probably could do if they paid you enough, but they ain't gonna do that because that's what corporations are not gonna do. Pay you extra money when they can get somebody else to do it. But guess what? When the robots come, all of y'all are screwed because the robot's gonna do it for free. Back to slavery. But and you guys won't be able to do anything. And you can't complain. But you're gonna get mad at the illegal robots?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're going to take our anger out on them, too.
So,
Hey, come
I
on, you
hope-
guys. Hey, can't you leave? You're from America. Why don't you go back? We've got enough problems from the corrupt government people here. Please, leave our country, man. We've got enough trouble here.
but I don't understand your hostility towards me. At the end of the day, I'm just as African as you are.
Yeah, but all of black people are corrupt in this country.
Yeah, but
No, you must go back. Rather than white people here, it might become better here.
But this is my country as much as it's your country.
No, but hey, oh, you guys come from America. You still shit in my country. Why don't you go back, rather?
No.
You've got enough problems from the people here.
My advice to you is if you have a problem with this country, maybe you should go back to Europe.
No, I'm born in this country, so how can I go back to Europe? I've got nothing to do with Europe.
But I just don't appreciate the disrespect.
I'm African. What's your story?
Wow.
Afrikaans.
I'm more African than you are, just to educate.
Yes, English is right now.
I think, Jermaine, I think we should just look.
So what do you guys think? That was my encounter. And yeah. First off, I want to start by saying this. You know, I went to this camp to learn about what was going on in these squatter camps. And my friend Isaac actually suggested that I should go there because I wanted to go to the squatter camps where there was black people. But he said, you know, a lot of times people already know how black people are suffering here in Africa. That's why I went there, was to get educated. You know, me and Nicole, we passed out money, we passed out food. And I'm the type of person, I don't like putting those things on camera because I'm not doing those things.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that. Take your ass back to America. What are you doing? Okay? You heard the man. Hey, that's like us over here. Look, go take your ass back to Africa. Take your ass back to America. You like, I don't get this. Why are we like, we go all the way to another country to go see how they slums are living. We got our own slums over here. All you had to do, you could have went to any state and just went downtown. Okay, you could have went to any state and went downtown and made a whole little shit on that. Like, bro, what the fuck? What the fuck is up with us? Like,
South Africa's changing social dynamic is not good for everyone.
all the way up.
These Afrikaners, who enjoyed social and economic privilege during apartheid, are now near the bottom of the pile.
We are fighting for our language, we are fighting for jobs. So my feeling is that we are only fighting all the time to survive.
Wait, did she say that? Hold on, she did, huh? Damn, bro, this shit is upside down, huh?
For jobs. So my feeling is that we are only fighting all the time to survive. To survive.
Thousands of white South Africans rely on charity to live. Betsy Dreyer has been running this community centre for 8 years, and she's almost run off her feet.
I think there must be much more job opportunities for the people like my people here, lots more. And that we must be aware that they mustn't be discriminating against them. It seems just to me that the thing is not in balance anymore.
Kiewit Wolfert was a public servant when whites ran South Africa. Now he and his wife Santa, who was also retrenched from a government job, have barely a thread left of their old lives. Only their creativity is keeping them going.
I I mean, when you look like they're eating well. You feel me? Look like they could skip a couple meals and still be okay. A week's worth of meals and still
In
be all
part,
right.
they blame government policies, which give black people priority in employment, set black quotas, and favour black-owned companies.
I don't know really that much about the racism, but I was the first one to go out, and then the others just followed.
Why do you think you were chosen to be retrenched?
I think they tell us we are whites. They don't give us work, so they give it to other people, other races also.
We don't have a chance. You can go and look for a job. They tell you, they phone you back, and you never heard it again from them.
Oh my God, bro. This shit is hilarious because it said, look, it sounds like, you know, what black people were saying over here. This shit is crazy, man. What the fuck? Oh, man. I don't mean to laugh, but I do mean to laugh because this, I don't know, this world is hilarious, man. I don't know. We as people, we be thinking we smart. I'm like, man, we some of the dumbest goddamn animals on this fucking planet, bro. I don't care what nobody say. This shit is ridiculous. The whole world is just ridiculous. It's not the world, it's the people.
You should look at South Africa right now. Obviously, the media isn't talking about it, and you're probably not going to see it with your leftist algorithm. But what is happening to white people there is absolutely oppression, much more than any black person is facing in America. Trust, white South Africans are not getting their own graduation. You should look at South Africa right now. Obviously, the media isn't talking about it, and you're probably not going to see it with your leftist algorithm. But what is happening to white people there is absolutely oppression, much more than any black person is facing in America. Trust, white South Africans are not getting their own graduation. You should look at South Africa right.
We just looked at it. And oh my God, bro. I'm telling you, black oppression and like the things that we went through as black people, they always try to find a way to, you know, downgrade it, to put it all the way down. Like, you know, yeah, they doing worse. And it's like, they ain't showing them being hung. They ain't showing none of that old weird shit y'all was doing. Like the weird shit y'all was doing, bro. Y'all, you know, that white people was doing back in the day. That shit. It's a lot I'd be wanting to say, but I'll be like, I'm a hold back because, you know, I'm trying to be kind of respectable at times. You feel me? I'm telling you, bro. I be trying to be respectable, but it's like, it's getting to a point to where, you know, why the fuck? Motherfuckers don't respect us, but we still give them that little respect, you know, just because the way we are. But sometimes you just be wanting to go, fuck that shit. They're like, what the fuck? Hey, you motherfuckers just lost your damn
You
mind.
can't make this up. But do you all remember when this administration welcomed 59 white South Africans into the country, talking about they were fleeing from persecution in South Africa for being white, and they allowed these Afrikaners to take a privately chartered jet, because that's what refugees get to do, I guess, come to the United States, and they were met by 2 deputy directors of federal agencies, not just 1, but 2. Well, let me refresh your memory, because I have an update on what's going on with them now. But let's look back at when they were welcomed off their private charter jet.
Welcome. Welcome to the United States of America. It is such an honor for us to receive you here today. This is the land of the free, and we know that all of you have faced. I'm Chris Landau. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm the Deputy Secretary of State of the United States. This is my friend Troy Edgar.
Yeah, I'm the Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. Again, welcome. So great to have you guys here.
What the fuck?
I know you've gone through a long flight. I cannot believe there are babies and children who are actually so well behaved. This is much better than mine are. So bless you for that.
The fuck?
You know, I think
They got a whole
it's
press
so
conference.
happy. It makes me so happy to see you with our flag in your hands. And
that's crazy. They got a whole press conference because I was just watching another one where a girl said they showed them getting off the bus, and she said the next day they was in our school. The same kids we seen getting off the bus. They didn't have this kind of press though.
that flag symbolizes liberty for so many of us.
Yeah,
Many
yada,
of
yada,
us,
yada,
our
yada.
families.
Well, that
Exactly.
was in May of last year. Let's take a look at what's going on with them today. It couldn't have happened to some better people.
Welcome back. You may recall last year we reported on the Trump administration's decision to limit the number of refugees entering the United States. That number was set at 7,500, a significant cut from the Biden era. In addition, the administration is prioritizing white South Africans for admission, a group it says faces persecution at home, something the South African government disputes. Well, now an investigation from the Free Press shows many of those white South Africans, also known as Afrikaners, are barely scraping by because of what they say are failures in U.S. government systems. Madeline Rowley is an investigative reporter for the Free Press, and she joins us now from Virginia to talk about this. And we should note the Free Press and CBS News share a parent company in Paramount Skydance. Madeline, good morning. Talk to us about the conditions some of these refugees say they are experiencing, because the administration made it seem as if they were being prioritized. They are a special group.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me on. Yes.
Man, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done with this bullshit. Matter of fact, you know what I'm about to do, bro? This is what I'm about to do. They pressing all this. They said, because I don't get it. All this is all somewhere else. It's not here in the United States. I live here in San Diego, right? What I'm about to do, I'm about to go get dressed, and I'm about to go downtown. And I'm about to show you what it's like out here, bro. It's gonna fuck your head up, cause it's like we going to try to save people in other places, and like we bringing them here, but like we're not even trying to save the ones that are here that are living worse than that right there. Like these motherfuckers is building. Like I know some of y'all seen it in some of y'all places. They building tents outside. You know, with that blue plastic and shit like that, bro. They got tent cities and some more weird shit going on. So I'm about to just show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all because I'm like going, I can show you better than I can tell you. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to go get dressed. Then I'm gonna take my son with me, and we're gonna go downtown, and I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like. And you feel me? And this is downtown San Diego. Like downtown San Diego, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? What the, like, clean that shit up, fix that shit up, work on, they need to do something. Like, why are we always trying to help somebody from a whole nother country? We ain't even fixing our own shit. It's like these motherfuckers don't drive around in their own cities and see this shit going on here. Like, this shit is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. They're not trying to save anybody. They're using saving people as an excuse for them to get more power and more money. Exactly, UL. Exactly. But I'm about to tap out. I'll be back later, though. I'll be back later with another video. But I ain't talking about this bullshit no more. This is out of here.